Welcome, everyone, to the Avengers podcast, where we talk Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and more. I'm your host, Peyton, and with me is my co-host, Torrin.
Yeah.
We have a great show for everyone this week. We're going to be critiquing our favorite movies because they can't all be perfect. And we're going to be talking about the news of the week. There will be time codes in the description or the show notes if you want to jump around. And with that, let's just get right into the news. Now, we got to start off on some pretty somber news, unfortunately, today. Filming on Gen V has... Season 2 for Gen V will be delayed following the tragic passing of Chance Perdomo after being in a motorcycle accident. He was 27.
And that is like really disheartening to hear, only because like for two reasons. Like, you know, number one, he was like he was starting to get that push from Gen V, and number two, he's only 27. He was only 27. And to put it into perspective, we're 24. So that's even like, it's just really crazy. And, you know, my condolences go out to his family and also his peers and his castmates.
Absolutely.
It's very like, you know, it's a very like somber thing to go through when like, you know, just not only like a friend, but like even like a celebrity who's like close to your age. It's just like, you know, that passes away, because it's like, dang, like, you know, it really like puts into perspective you know how close of age y'all could be. But spend time with your loved ones and don't take life for granted.
Yeah, I can't imagine it because the Gen V people put out a statement and they were like, it's weird and surreal to be talking about him in the past tense, like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But that's reality, unfortunately. Moving on. This is according to Jeff Snyder. Spider-Man 4 is looking to begin filming in September or October. Justin Lin was one of the names in the mix to direct the film, and Zendaya will return as MJ. No shit. Looking to begin in October or September is interesting to me because it tells me, number one, that they're likely trying to rush the film into production, which sounds bad, but to look at it as an optimist, that's not a ton of time to put a lot of the pre-production stuff together if they don't already have some semblance of the script made. And the script that is the most far along is the one that's more grounded and not the multiverse shit that Sony wants. So hopefully that's the case. That's just a theory, but that's what I'm imagining. As far as Justin Lin goes, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Bro has an eye for action. I'm down for that.
Yeah, let's just hope that you know, we see Spider-Man get a Spider-Mobile and start drifting it around New York City.
Spider-Man 4, Tokyo Drift.
Yes. New
York Drift. Queens Drift. Drifting in Queens. And Zendaya coming back as MJ, obviously, but I do hope it's a smaller role. I hope if I was doing it, it would just be like he goes into the coffee shop like every day, like as like a ritualistic thing, just to see and talk to MJ, but she still has no idea and shit, and that's it. You know, she doesn't get fucking captured. He doesn't have to save her, because then it's like, okay, it's just kind of retreading the same thing.
I hope it's like she gets that Dune treatment where it's like you see her for like 2 minutes of the film, you know?
Yeah,
in real time.
And she's in all the production or all the promo material.
Yeah.
This is according to Daniel RPK. The Fantastic Four will reportedly take place in an alternate universe.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, initially I was like, huh? But I thought about it for 2 seconds.
It would be for the best too.
Yeah, it makes sense, because it's one of those things. It's like if it is in the 60s, which it looks like it is, it wouldn't make a ton of sense within the MCU, because then you have to like retcon a bunch of shit, and you know, characters that have to be like, oh yeah, of course, Reed Richards and what have you. Because Stark would probably know about him, Hank Pym would probably know about him, and they have never mentioned him. Not only that, but like Doctor Strange had no idea who the Fantastic Four were, and I feel like he would know that if they existed within the MCU prior. So them being in an alternate universe makes a lot of sense. Now the question is, how are they going to get them into the mainline MCU? Is it just going to be that radiation shit and they go in space, or?
Well, like they could always pull a No Way Home and have Ned do it, aka the CEO of Sex.
True.
Make a portal.
Yeah, magic runs in his family.
It does.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of that, like how they could like, and it would also be fun because then you could have that like fish out of water sort of thing again, which they've lost with Captain America. So that could be fun. But yeah, so Thunderbolts, they released Florence Pugh released like a little like behind the scenes thing of her on the set of Thunderbolts. And it looks like both on like the little like set chairs that they have with the title and also them putting in tweets, they have an asterisk in front of Thunderbolts. It's literally Thunderbolts asterisk. And people are, theorizing what that means. I assume that it's just like, this is like, it's still Thunderbolts, but it's like a placeholder. It's going to end up being called like Thunderbolts, the fucking Thunderbolts, the group of normies. I don't fucking know. Just some subtitle. But yeah, that's it for the news of the week, which means it's time to move on to our topic, which is critiquing our favorite movies. Torrin, why don't you go, or else?
All right. Critiquing my favorite movies. Definitely one of my favorite movies is Superbad. And, of course, it's a movie that I watched when I was like younger. Don't tell me why 7-year-old me was watching Superbad, but, it just happened to grow on me. And it's probably the reason why I am today. But, I can't, say that the movie has its faults, because, it has its faults for sure. Recently, when I watched it, some of the lines and some of the dialogue just did not hit for me. I'm just like, oh wow, that was very bad, because it's 2007. It's very dated, very dated. Like, damn, I was like, holy crap.
What kind of lines we talking about?
Well, obviously, in the context of the scene, it's supposed to be like, a very, very hard watch, but it was one of the scenes where like Jonah Hill, his character Seth meets up with Emma Stone's character, and of course, the whole one of the parts of the movie is that he's going to try to get alcohol to impress her and stuff like that for the party, and then he says like this really fucking weird line, and I'm just like, dude, this is I did not like that dialogue. I forgot what it was, but it's when like they're like, I think they're in the hallway, or like they're like, yeah, they're at school, and he says like this like weird line, and I'm just like, holy shit. But then also, you do have some words that will not say,
like what?
I'm not saying it, bro.
Why not? This is a safe space. Why not?
Safe my ass. Safe to getting canceled, bro. But also, the critique is like another critique I have, is it's like Jonah Hill's character Seth. Obviously, back then whenever I was watching the movie, I'm like, wow, Seth is cool. And I grew up and I'm like, wow, he's a fucking piece of shit. Who would want to be friends with him?
Bro thought he was cool. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, you just fucking was cursing. He was cursing a lot. When you're a kid, you're like, oh yeah, cursing's cool. This is fucking funny, huh?
Sure.
But it's like, yeah, this guy is a fucking piece of shit. This dude is a sex crazed like maniac. And then Michael Cera's character, he's just a fucking, he's just a fucking simp. Point blank. Period. Yeah, I mean, I don't have like too much critiques about it, but obviously, like, most people have seen Superbad and they can understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the whole movie is mostly mid, but you I guess.
You really think that?
Nah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's so like, when it hits, but like, it still is a fun movie to me.
Comedies tend to age like milk. It's always rare to find one that like still manages to hold up.
Yeah, that's true.
Those end up being the classics. Mine is, I try to pick all of my like 10 out of 10s and one of okay, this one you can critique a lot of, but it's Spider-Man.
Yeah, yeah, we talked about it before.
Yeah. Yeah, the infamous scene.
Oh,
the
God,
infamous scene in the alleyway.
Fucking hate that scene, dude. It's so fucking bad.
It's so bad on multiple levels.
like imagine, like, I mean, you shouldn't imagine that. Like, dude, like, this woman is getting fucking barked at. Almost assaulted. You get saved, and then you just have
my hero.
A fucking unimaginable amount of fucking rescuer syndrome that you just fucking kiss the guy.
Pulled the mask down. He's drowning, literally getting waterboarded.
Man, sinuses are fucked up for months.
Terrible.
Got a fucking infection, dude. Because the brain.
It's insane how iconic that scene is. The upside down kiss after arguably the worst scene of the movie.
Yes. And then it's like, oh my God. And then, like, of course, like, in like the context of like her character, she's dating a guy, she fucking cheats on him.
Insane.
Fucking, oh my God. And not to mention, like, Peter, you know, he's just overall, like, oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say like he's like that. Well, he is like that. He's kind of a creep.
Yeah, no, he is. Full on. Bro's a peeping Tom. Bro's like just taking pictures of her and shit. I mean, he got consent one time.
Yeah, he got consent one time, and then that was it. Yeah, bro's just fucking nuts.
The only thing that's ironclad in this movie is Willem Dafoe.
Yeah,
can't touch that, man.
Bro's going freaking goblin mode.
Bro said it.
Can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see that scene in theaters.
Hell yeah! The movie. I can't wait for the deliver us, finish it from evil.
Wait, I gotta check and see if those tickets are they're AVX.
They're not.
They're not.
They're D-Box. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
If they're D-Box, I probably would pass away. But yeah, no, that scene is just god awful.
Fucking terrible. Also, Peter just in general is not great.
He's really not, bro.
And that's I mean, the scene where Aunt May's in the hospital and Peter's holding MJ's hand, and she's like, when he looks in her eyes, the world slips away, and he'd say you're the only person in the world, and like, what is bro saying?
Yeah, I don't even know, bro. Absolutely nuts. Is it my turn now?
Yeah. My
next one is Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Ew.
That shit. It's still fire. But it's also a thing to where, you know, like when you're younger, you're not gonna like fully take into account of like how this person is, or like, how some of the people are, because, you know, like in Scott Pilgrim, some people for a while they had the perception of like, oh yeah, you know, Scott's good, you know, he's a good person, and then I grew up and I read some of the material. And I'm like, wow, yeah. And I also rewatched a movie like a couple years ago. I was like, wow, yeah, this guy is a fucking piece of shit. But like, no one in the movie is like a role model, and that's kind of like the point. But, you know, like overall, like, yeah, Scott is like, he's really not a good person. He's a fucking pedophile. He's a fucking like, he's really just a bad person. You know, he's also like, I know like to an extent, bro, just he has like this really false idea of like, you know, what love is and all that stuff. And it's funny because like I was like reading like a comment from my like letterbox, and I was like, yeah, this is an incel's fantasy of first love, and I like laughed at it because it's pretty true. But
but that's why the new show on Netflix is so good, because the creator, it was like, yeah, it's definitely a product of its time. I'm gonna take this in a different direction.
Well, yeah, which is good. I mean, I still have yet to see the show.
It's fucking great, bro.
I will watch it at some point. I mean, I've been watching another thing, which we'll get into later. Yeah, many people in Scott Pilgrim are not great people. Yeah,
there's a line in the new show where he's like, I guess dating a 17-year-old when you're 23 is a bad thing. I don't
Yeah, because like I think in the movie he's like 25 when he does it. Even worse.
Yeah. Not good.
Yeah,
I remember because I saw it for the first time way later, and I'm like, wait, he's dating? Oh no, what am I watching?
Yeah, I know, and then I'm just like, of course, like I said, when you're younger and you're watching, you don't really take into account of like all that, because like I said, just I'm seeing this movie when I'm 10. I'm like, oh wow, he gets abilities, he's fighting people, it's so cool. And it's like, oh wow, this is not good at all. Wow. And like they're like, yeah, Scott, this is bad. And they don't really do anything about it. Let that man do whatever.
Yeah, they're like, you're dating a high schooler? Like, they acknowledge it's bad.
Yeah, they acknowledge it's bad, but like,
yeah, they don't do anything about it. And then he just sort of drags her along. And then isn't there an ending where he ends up with her?
I believe so. I think it's like an alternate ending,
it's an alternate ending.
Something like that. Yeah.
And there's people that defend that ending, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, I don't know. Just weird. Just weirdos.
It's a good movie though.
It is a good movie
for the most part.
Oh yeah, and like people, I know like some people on social media were like, oh my god, like Ramona, like like Ramona's such a good person. She's the only thing like in this movie that's like good. And I'm like, Ramona is not that good as well.
No,
not she's a bad person too.
Really, everyone in the movie's bad.
Yeah, like I said, like
except Knives. She's literally just innocent in all of it.
Knives and young Neil.
Oh yeah,
like I said, no one is meant to be like a role model, and they're not really good people. Yeah, I do gotta watch the movie again and the show. I do like Scott Pilgrim. I was gonna get the books.
The books?
But yeah, I was gonna get the books, but I don't know like how many there are. Cause I did see them at Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Nobles, yeah.
Barnes and Nobles. And I know there's a game out too. There's a game, but let me see.
I heard the game was good.
I want to get the game. Let me see. How much is it? Like it's like one of those like arcade games for Xbox. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Stuff I'm seeing is $15.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Oh, PlayStation Store says $5.
You gonna cop it? And
no.
Play it on PS5?
Hell no.
Why not?
Bro, I ain't playing no Scott Pilgrim game. Terrible franchise. My next one is 2012's The Avengers.
Oh yeah, that's something, all right.
Fuck you.
What?
It's a perfect film, other than the aspect ratio and the framing.
The perfect film.
Other than the aspect ratio and the framing.
And the director. Mr. Self-proclaimed feminist.
Yeah. But he did Buffy, so he's good.
And he also did fucking 80% worth of ass shots in 2017 Justice League, so. And he fucking made a scene in Age of Ultron.
Classic.
Fucking ain't no fucking way. Isn't there
classic Joss Whedon?
What was the line in is the line in this film where Iron Man says something about like the prima donna or some shit?
Oh, that's Prima Nocta. That's in Age of Ultron.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, it's not on the list because it's not one of my favorite movies. But yeah, I love the Avengers. It's definitely similar to Spider-Man 1. It's definitely a nostalgia thing. Not that it's like, I mean, Spider-Man 1's still a good movie, but I think Avengers 2012 holds up better than Spider-Man 1 personally. But yeah, I do think it's a fantastic film. But yeah, obviously the director, a lot of people sort of dig on the dialogue. I think the dialogue's fine in 2012. I think the Joss Whedon-y stuff really comes through in Age of Ultron. I think that's where I'm like, okay, this is very Joss Whedon. But 2012, it felt like they were sort of like easing it in there. But like most of the Joss Whedon stuff came from Tony Stark, but that works a majority of the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely the framing, the cinematography it's definitely flat. Everyone says it looks like a TV show. I can't disagree, but I also don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's very like weird. I texted you about it because I remember I was doing like an MCU like marathon, and I'm just like, bro, why does this look so fucking weird? Like it's very off-putting for sure. But yeah, it doesn't really bother me as like other people, like you just said. But you know,
but it also makes, because Joss Whedon, he came from TV.
Yeah, he did.
So yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, maybe I don't know, a cinematographer could have stepped in and made it better. I don't know.
Yeah,
or maybe Joss Whedon could have just wrote it, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think other people wrote the script and then they gave it to Joss Whedon, and Joss Whedon like rewrote most of it. I think that's what happened. But yeah, good movie. Also, Tom Hiddleston's just doing his fucking thing. Bro's just
evil. I know. So fucking crazy how consistent Loki is as a character.
Yeah, even in the worst movies.
Yep.
The Dark World.
I know.
It's a bad film. It's the second Thor movie. Came out in 2013. 2013 was not a good year for superhero movies.
I don't remember it.
The Dark World, Iron Man 3, Man of Steel.
Man of Steel is amazing.
Yeah, sure it is, buddy.
And Iron Man 3 is amazing too.
I do agree with that. It's definitely aged well, but at the time, let's be honest, it wasn't very popular.
Yeah, you're right.
And Man of Steel sucks.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, I guess.
Man of Steel is my next one.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I can't. I have a soft spot for this film, dude. That's why it's like one of my favorites. But of course, it has many critiques that we've been through. But I'll say it again. Number one, fucking movie's dark as hell. Shit is fucking
gray.
I know, it's almost as dark as midnight, bro. Crazy. And then overall, like, it also just put like that quote about like how, when he said that, like, Batman killing is cool. I can't get that out of my head because now I see that with like everything he fucking does. When like it just like looks cool. And like, this film, like, when it comes to Superman, like, while I do like this Superman, it's not my definitive version of it. There's just some stuff where like, yeah, Superman would not have done this. He just wouldn't have done it. Now, like, actually, I kind of take that back a little bit, because I'm specifically thinking about the part where, he's working at the diner, and he like lets that guy bitch him, and he ends up fucking up his like 18-wheeler. That's the part where I was like, yeah, that's something that Superman wouldn't do. But then I was like thinking back to like Smallville, and yeah, I feel like, yeah, like,
I don't know if Smallville is the right comparison to make. We're talking about
no. What I'm saying is that, like, yeah, like Clark has done, or Clark can get petty. It's just like, of that magnitude. That's why I don't really
sure, but I think this scene ages even worse when another TV show does the same scene better.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes
Superman
sense.
and Lois.
Yeah.
But like the Man of Steel scene, I do like it because bro just does not move, and I fucking love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole 18-wheeler shit destroying it. Not only is it just not really in character for Superman, it's also really fucking stupid, because how else would that have happened?
Yeah. Like, bro just walks out and he's like, oh, well,
Superman was here, right?
Yeah, no.
Why'd he do that to my child? Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute, it must be that fucking buff guy I saw earlier.
That buff guy who I don't think at the time was wearing glasses.
Oh yeah, he wasn't wearing glasses. He just fucking gave away his identity. But other than that, obviously, the big one is when, fucking Clark kills Zod because that dumbass family could have just did something else, but no, fucking broke his neck. It's like, damn.
And we've talked about that. Like, Superman would absolutely kill Zod if he absolutely needed to. The killing is not the issue; it's the execution of the scene.
Yeah, exactly. Because that family could have just ducked under the laser, could have just locked the fuck in, but like you said, it was the execution of it and overall, like, just the context of the scene. And I remember how just that shit went on for for years, dude. Like, just I saw the amount of like stuff on like Reddit and the internet about like, Superman doing that and Man of Steel, which is obviously, crazy. Other than that, the movie is, like I said, I have a soft spot for it. There's some stuff that I really like, really love about it. But overall, it's just Zack Snyder writing and his color palette that just doesn't really fit with the film all the way for me.
Yeah, the tone, Superman's tone. It also has maybe the dumbest death scene in history with Pa Kent.
Oh yeah, he just like, bro, you could have
Clark, don't save me, even though no one would see you do it.
Right? Yeah, bro, just fucking vanishes in the tornado. But yeah.
And also, him leveling Metropolis. And it's like people like, yeah, he's new at this, but also, my God.
He would have taken the battle somewhere else and like just not have caused that much destruction.
Like, I think some people, Zack Snyder, forget that Superman is smart. He's not just some big guy who just knows right from wrong. He's smart.
Yeah.
He's not Batman smart, but he's intelligent enough to be like, I gotta move this fight somewhere else. Or at the very least, get him in a position to like slow him down enough that I can save some people in between. But yeah, like you said, there's stuff in this movie I do genuinely love. That fucking Smallville fight, oh my God. That is good shit.
Nuts. And then like also like the Krypton stuff, I think that was pretty solid too.
I don't love the Krypton stuff, but I also don't love the Krypton stuff in most Superman things. I just don't give a shit.
I didn't realize how long that shit was. That shit was like 45 minutes.
Damn, bro, these Zack Snyder films are a fucking eternity.
Yeah.
I think I will say I think Man of Steel does age better, at least for me. It has grown on me a lot. Like, I think when we did our DCU ranking, which I think we did that.
Yeah, we did.
I think Zack Snyder's Justice League has gotten worse for me as time goes on.
Really?
Yeah, and Man of Steel has gotten better.
I still have yet to rewatch Zack Snyder Justice League. I've been meaning to do that because Zack Snyder's a goat.
I don't know about all that,
bro. He's one of my favorite like filmmakers ever.
Actually insane.
Oh, bro, trust.
Can't trust.
Trust, bro. He's hooking up with Rebel Moon Part 2. Can't wait to see more slow-mo shots.
It's gonna be so good.
Right.
I can't wait to see him just do Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, that was something, all right.
All right, my next one is Whiplash.
Whiplash. That's a good one.
To many people, one of the best movies ever made. According to Letterboxd, it's one of the top 50 on that app. In fact, where is it? It's 41. It's pretty high up there. And for the most part, again, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. I think it's fucking incredible. That being said, and before I get into this, I know it's part of the point of the film, but at the end, you've seen Whiplash, right?
Yeah, I have.
Spoilers for Whiplash. At the end, when he shows up to the band or whatever, and J.K. Simmons fucks with him and makes him look like shit, and he's like, "I know it was you, Neiman." or whatever, and he comes back and he starts doing, drumming shit. And it's sort of played, depending on the viewer's perspective, but to some it's played as like, oh, he made it. When in reality it's like oh fuck, he threw everything away to be in a place that's not healthy.
Yeah.
And the critique is, a lot of people, it's not clear enough to some viewers, because some people watch that movie and the takeaway is never give up on your dreams. Where in reality it's like, maybe step back from your dreams a bit if it's this unhealthy.
Yeah, because like fucking like, of course, before that he gets into a fucking car crash.
Yeah.
And he's like fucking bleeding and everything. He just fucking walks in, starts doing that shit.
He walks in, he plays, and then he's playing and fucking hands are bleeding and shit. It's like, god damn. Like, and
then even before that, he fucking breaks up with his girlfriend.
Yeah, he's also just an awful person.
Yeah.
He's a huge dick. Does not help my hatred for Miles Teller.
Yeah, it's like another one of those like commentaries where actually, fuck it. I'll get into that a little bit with this next film.
How did he fumbled Supergirl? How do you do that?
I know, right? How do you do that?
But the movie makes up for it because of J.K. Simmons.
Yeah,
bro says like the F slur and shit, but I'm like, it's J.K. Simmons. he can say it.
It's like damn, shit was crazy. But like him, like just absolutely terrorizing Miles Teller. It's just so funny. You know what's crazy too is that like they I don't know if it's like there's like a different like Whiplash, because Miles Teller wasn't like a
the short film.
Yeah, the short film, yeah, with what's his name? I forget his name. Young Neil. Yeah, I just call him Young Neil. But yeah,
I remember his last name's Neiman.
But yeah, but you're definitely right. I also like what you said about like Whiplash, about how like, yeah, people were like, yeah, it's like never give up on your dreams. I see that fucking film in like TikTok edits where it's like motivational.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, y'all don't know shit.
Yeah, you do not know the point of this movie. It's like Dune 2. People are like, yes, Paul Atreides, the protagonist, he's the good guy.
I'm like, no. You want to know what my next one's gonna be?
Yeah,
it's American Psycho.
Ooh, so many.
Yeah, American Psycho. And it's one of my favorites because like, of course, it's a it's definitely a critique and like it's a commentary about like just white men and on Wall Street.
Yeah, it's a satire.
Yeah, of course. And the reason why I liked how you brought it up about people with Whiplash, it's like the whole thing of like, people think that like Patrick Bateman is like the Sigma character, and like how the point of American Psycho is that like, yeah, he's supposed to be like this fucking cool guy, and I'm like, bro, y'all just did not care for the meaning of American Psycho. That's not the fucking point of that film. And also like, of course, when it comes to the character of Patrick Bateman, he very, very fucking weird. But of course, Christian Bale nailed it. The one part I don't like is, it's a funny scene, but it's very uncomfortable. Probably because whenever I watched it, there was like women around, but like it's a scene where I think it was a threesome.
Yes, he's looking in the mirror.
Yeah, that one. He's like flexing. Yeah, I was like, man, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I don't like that either. But we also just talked about recently we don't like sex scenes.
Yeah. So definitely, it's like that was one of the reasons why I brought up American Psycho, was because the reason you brought up Whiplash.
Yeah, I saw a video. It was one of those videos of Christian Bale like talking about his roles or whatever, And he said something along the lines of like, yeah, it's a satire. I hope no one takes Patrick Bateman seriously. I was like, oh no, he doesn't know.
Yeah, he doesn't know the amount of fucking Sigma memes and Sigma music put on, and I'm like, bro, like y'all are so dumb. But you know, I wouldn't. I can't
a director.
put past, yeah, written by a woman.
Yeah, crazy.
But you know, I can't like, you know, say anything because, you know, we are in a generation where media literacy is dying by the day. So,
oh, it's my turn. I was like,
it is your turn.
Yeah, my next one is Captain America: Civil War.
Oh yes, the one where you're on Team Iron Man.
I am not, but I guess by association, yes. Yeah, this movie, I fucking love this movie. It's easily one of my favorite movies of all time. Probably my favorite MCU movie. The critique being Captain America's a little bitch. Fuck Captain America in this movie. Critique is Iron Man lost at the end of the movie. What the fuck is that about? That's just lame. Critique of the movie, Spider-Man's not in it enough. What the hell? I came into this movie expecting 2 hours of Spider-Man. That's some bullshit. Critique of the movie, Ant-Man is in it. Why? Critique of the movie, it has the best Black Panther suit and we never see it again. That's lame.
So I still can't believe how Black Panther was so much cooler in that film. So much cooler in Civil War.
Is what it is.
I know.
No, but legitimate criticism. I can't think of many because I love the movie that much. Look, the framing of like the Accords and stuff. I understand like why, it needs to be vague, but also like it is also like difficult to really take sides outside of. Because the whole point is that the government has overreach over the Avengers, but like it's like to what extent? Because like Captain America is like, okay, well they can't. What if we need to go somewhere and then they won't let us? It's like, okay, well, what if there's like like they don't go deep enough into the Accords, and they never would, because yeah, why would they? But in real life, it'd be like, yeah, maybe there's like a clause in there where it's like, okay, but like there needs to be some sort of the Avengers also need to have a say in it if the government's gonna have some oversight over them. But yeah, other than that, it's a perfect film. Although one of the best things Civil War did, not to glaze it, but I will, they sort of play the super soldier thing. They're like, oh, well, Bucky's not the only Winter Soldier. And then they go to the fucking Alps. I don't remember where they went. Siberia? I don't remember. That's not the point. But they go there, and if you haven't seen the movie before, you might be expecting, oh, there's going to be a fucking big fight with a bunch of super soldiers. And it's like something that we sort of seen before. It's just like a bunch of superpower people just going at it. It's like, okay, it's whatever. Like it'd be cool probably from a hand-to-hand combat standpoint, because it's it's the Russos and they're good at that. But then they go in, they're just Zemo just blasted them all in the head anyway. It's like, oh, okay, well, thank God that's not where this is going. And probably a more legit criticism of the movie is Spider-Man. His not his introduction. I think that's fine. It's his recruitment. Because like a lot of people have said it, it's like, okay, well, Tony's just like he's openly lying to this kid to get him to fight for him, because if Tony Stark told Peter what they were actually fighting against, Peter would be on Team Cap. I think everyone knows and understands that, and it's also why people have an issue with MCU Peter being so intertwined with Tony Stark. And I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before, but it's like, timeline wise, if you really think about it, they haven't known each other for that long. If let's say Tony didn't die in Endgame, or Spider-Man didn't get dusted, I think Peter would have gotten tired of bro shit like real fast, because like think about it, like he's in Civil War, right? He meets him in Civil War, and then Homecoming happens, and Homecoming takes place 6 months after Civil War, and it's depicted in that movie, other than, you know, a couple places here and there, he doesn't really have contact with Tony. He mostly has to get through to Tony through Happy. And, you know, obviously Happy's not dealing with his bullshit. So there's that. And right, like Homecoming happens, and then right after Homecoming, it's Infinity War. And Infinity War doesn't even take place during a full fucking day before bro gets dusted. He comes back 5 years later, and within a couple hours, maybe, Tony dies. So if you really think about it, Peter's really only known Tony for like a year and a half, maybe, but like that's assuming there's a year in between Homecoming and Infinity War, and that would also be assuming that Peter has like had direct contact with him, which again I doubt he did. He'd probably still have to go through Happy because he turned down being an Avenger at the end of Homecoming. So Peter really hasn't known Tony that long. But again, without any of that context within the story of Civil War, like, yeah, Tony's just like lying to this kid to get him to fight for him for a cause that he probably doesn't believe in himself. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess.
I don't have that many films to talk about, but I will say my last one is going to be The Amazing Spider-Man 1.
It's not even a good movie by itself. I don't know how it's on this list.
So, I mean, it's one of my favorites. So I do like Andrew Garfield. But, of course, you know, critiques is definitely tone of it. You know, it's just like this little darker color palette on Spider-Man. And overall, I feel like some things could have been a lot better about this movie, such as
the design of the lizard.
Yes, the design of the lizard. Yes, I would have liked to see a freaking lab coat on him
for more than 2 seconds.
Yes, I know. And then this is such a dumbass thing. I don't know how people took that shit and ran with it. But you know, like the whole like Peter Parker skateboarding is cool and cool thing, blah blah blah. I just like I hate it. I hate that thing. I will also never forget Society for giving someone on Twitter like 600,000 likes for saying that shit. That lame ass fucking shit, bro. Crazy. I don't even understand it. Yeah, I know you don't like the suit with the yellow lenses.
Terrible.
And they say it looks like a wet basketball.
It does look like a wet basketball.
I'm like, I mean, I don't hate the suit, but it's definitely not like my favorite suit for sure. And I know people have like a really thing that they're saying, they were like, oh yeah, like I don't know why Peter in this film is like taking revenge. Like Peter wouldn't do that. And I'm like, I don't know, man, have you seen the Raimi have you seen the Raimi movies? I mean, he did that in the first movie.
Yeah. So. Yeah, for the first guy, yeah.
Yeah.
He absolutely would.
So yeah, this fucking uncle just fucking died, bro, like crazy. Of course, he feels bad because he indirectly fucking did it. Well, in Spider-Man, and in Spider-Man 1, he indirectly did it. So did in Raimi as well. But yeah, those are my critiques for that. I've already said my piece about this film, but I wanted to bring it up again.
I just think it's crazy how bad it is.
It's not as bad as I remember, but it's definitely better than The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
That's true.
Oh yeah, fuck that whole Richard and Mary Parker story. That shit's fucking dumb as hell. Fucking opens up the film about people we don't fucking care about. Well, that was in the second one. I just don't understand.
My next one is Back to the Future.
I knew Back to the Future was gonna be on here.
Or you didn't know that. You know what? It's not on here. I take it back.
It is on there because it's one of your favorite movies.
Yeah, you're right. It's on here. Back to the Future. Okay, there's two things. Number one, yes, if you think about the time travel for 2 seconds, it doesn't make sense. I don't care. It's great. I don't care. But one that I do agree with, and every time I watch it, I'm like, I don't know about this. Is his mom's a bit rapey. It's kind of concerning.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, why? Jesus, just slow down. Taking off his pants and shit. Like, what are you doing?
She's fucking touching him and shit. Like, why are you touching him like that?
Why touching him like that? That's your son. I mean, you don't know that, but even if it's just a random guy, it's just a random guy.
Absolutely fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about that one, because it is perfect otherwise.
It's perfect.
It is.
It's not perfect at all, brother.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is.
Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Perfect?
Yep.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know. I'm not hearing any real complaints.
Are you talking about like I mean, if you're talking about just a film, then maybe, but as a trilogy, nah.
Well, as a film, yes. In this case, I am talking about just the film.
Film, maybe.
But as a trilogy, also yes.
No.
Yes.
Not even close.
It's better than Lord of the Rings.
That's fucking crazy. That's crazy.
It's better than the Dark Knight trilogy.
Debatable. Well, yes, actually.
Better than the Star Wars trilogy.
No, I don't think so.
It is.
They only have 2 good films.
People always talking about, the Holy Trilogy. Yeah, this is the Holy Trilogy.
Not even close.
It is. Once Dune Messiah comes out, this is still going to be the Holy Trilogy.
I don't think so. The third one kind of flops.
No, it doesn't. After Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out, okay, that might top it. But as of right now, it's the Holy Trilogy.
No.
Yep.
That was insane.
It's okay that you don't have taste. It's fine. It's also okay that you haven't actually seen the third movie.
I have.
You haven't.
I have. I was just very little, bro.
Exactly.
Trust me.
So you haven't actually seen it.
I have. When are you gonna believe me, bro?
I believe you saw it when you were little, but that doesn't count.
So it doesn't count?
No, because you haven't actually seen it.
Well, I have.
You have, but you haven't.
So you're saying my childhood years don't count?
Correct.
In my life.
When it comes to analyzing films and understanding the messaging and the deeper themes, then no.
Okay, buddy.
Because if you watch The Godfather, yeah, by the way, the Back to the Future trilogy is better than The Godfathers.
Well, that I can definitely say yes to.
You're telling me as a kid, if you saw The Godfather, you'd be like, yes, this.
Bro, as a kid, I'd probably be fucking sleeping with an apple juice in my hand, bro. I don't know.
Be sleeping with the fishes?
Maybe. I'm not entirely sure.
It's a perfect trilogy.
I don't have any more films.
You don't have any more films?
No, I can't think of any.
Oh. All right, the Batman.
The Batman? I don't even know if I have like a critique about it.
Wow.
I mean, I saw it recently, but like, I mean, I guess like one critique. I mean, it's not even like a critique. It's like more like a nitpick. Is like the freaking hint of the Joker.
I don't love that. Yeah. I'm still not sold on Barry Keoghan as the Joker. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not sold on him either. But it's also a thing to where like we don't need to see the Joker in every Batman story.
Yeah. A critique I have is Riddler's riddles are probably too easy, and it sort of makes most of the people in the movie look kind of stupid. They
did have to spoof feed people a little bit.
Yeah. But I wonder if they did like focus groups and they were like, hey, what's this riddle? And most people couldn't figure it out. So they're like, yeah, I guess that one's good then. We'll put that one in. Another critique, and this isn't really like a critique of the movie necessarily because the performance is fine. But especially afterwards, after my first viewing and just sort of unintentionally seeing other Paul Dano movies, I can't unsee just Paul Dano as the character. I just like, yeah, it's Riddler, but also I'm like, hey, that's Paul Dano.
You can't unsee Paul Dano's character from Little Miss Sunshine as a Riddler.
Yeah. If you are justice, please do not lie. I also okay. Well, this isn't a critique. I just part of the movie. I like to see him just talking to his followers.
Hey guys,
Hey guys, thanks for the tip on the cling wrap. That was really appreciated.
Like, hey guys, we're about to shoot some people up. So that's literally what he does, bro. It's crazy.
Good movie though. Also have Deadpool.
Okay.
Yeah, Deadpool 1.
The best Deadpool movie.
See, you say that. And
bro,
similar to Zack Snyder's Justice League and Man of Steel, I feel like they're sort of getting closer together as time goes on. In my mind,
I don't like the second Deadpool a lot. First one's better.
See, I agree, but I think the second one is getting better with age.
I don't know, man. Last time I watched it, I did not like it. It was a complete mess.
Bro, is just saying nonsense.
I didn't like it that much.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You fucking loved it.
I did not.
You did though.
No.
Yeah.
No.
When was the last time you watched it?
Once when it came out.
Bruh.
And it was a complete mess. Then again, I've only seen Deadpool once as well, so I absolutely loved it.
But it's at least it's better than the Wolverine.
Yes. Wolverine's better than Deadpool 2, though.
No.
Yes.
That's not what it says here.
What do you mean?
On your X-Men movies ranked on your Letterboxd.
I forgot I even had that list.
It's crazy.
Where is that?
We basically have the exact same list.
Where is it?
It's right there.
Where?
There.
Where?
It's literally right there.
I don't see it.
You don't see it.
I don't see my list.
Bro is blind.
What are you talking about? Oh, I found it. What are you talking about? It clearly says the Wolverine is over at Deadpool 2. What are you talking about?
Bro, the Wolverine is so fucking boring.
I think just the highlight of that film is that guy on the train.
On the train just getting whacked.
That was amazing.
Yeah. My last one is The Last Jedi.
Oh yeah, you and The Last Jedi, dude. I knew it was coming.
We'll talk about this a ton because I've talked to it to death, but really my only critique is pretty much the entire Canto Bite sequence.
My only complaint is that there wasn't enough milk.
Jesus.
In the film. And my critique is for that film is that he just threw away that lightsaber. Why would you throw that away?
So
it doesn't
true.
make sense to Luke. It doesn't make sense to Luke's character, you know?
Yeah, you're right. Definitely not within Luke's character. I can't believe he almost killed Kylo Ren when he was a kid. That's not Luke's character at all. No, but the Canto Bite sequence, it has its merit from the story standpoint. It just wasn't executed well.
That's true.
But yeah, that's it from me. So what'd you watch this week?
I wish I could have finished the show, but I didn't. But right now I have been watching Parks and Rec. I'm on season 6. I'm about to finish season 6, and I'm about to be on season. Actually, I'm going to be done with the show by the time the episode comes out.
Probably.
Yeah, and so, yeah. So far, like Parks and Rec, it's been like it's super funny, and it's like it gets easier to watch. Man, it's fucking crazy. I think like instead of watching like 5 to 6 episodes a day, I think I'll go like on like 10 episode like watches, dude. It's like crazy.
Yeah, Parks and Rec is the only show I think I've seen out of all the sitcoms I watch where I truly lose track of time.
Yeah.
Like one time I for real stayed up to like 3 a.m. and I was like, what the fuck?
And it's a thing to like last night when I came home, I like literally was like fuck man, I have to go to sleep. And I know a show is good when I get mad, I have to do other shit instead of watching the show. Because one time I had to go out and I didn't want to, and I was like really upset because I wanted to watch Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
But overall, it's like a thing too where like even when some characters are gone, mostly Anne's gone, the show still like feels fine. Oh yeah, and Chris is gone too, but the show like hasn't like suffered from it. And even like I'm seeing like the growth of like, you know, characters, which is nice to see. Andy is definitely like a big improvement because like, you know, he's still like dumb, but like he still manages to give like insightful advice
Exactly.
and like great, you know, like great development from his part. So that's cool.
But you only
Ron.
have 2 episodes left in season 6.
Yeah, I do.
And then
So
season 7's only 12 episodes, so.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Thank God. Easy. That's easy. But yeah, Parks and Rec, and then I've been watching Shogun. I started watching I watched the first episode. Shit's pretty good. I love how like it's kind of I just like love like period like the time period movies and shows, and like this one in Shogun, it takes place in the 1600s, where like, you know, Portuguese Catholics, they're trying to like, you know, they're like having shipments to Japan. And right now Japan's going through the whole thing because like the lord died and they're trying to find like a new one. Well, they can't find like a new lord because like the heir isn't of age. So now they're just kind of like in this feuding period of like the five heads, something like that. And it's so far like it's a great show. The cinematography is amazing. It's so great. The colors are great, and the acting is really really good as well. So I can't wait to progress more with that show. And I love how like all the episodes are like an hour long, just by like looking at the runtime. And even though it's a limited series, I still feel like that's how most shows should be. Marvel.
Just run that by me again.
Huh?
You said what now?
So that's how most shows should be. Yeah. MCU shows should be an hour long. Each episode should be an hour long. Daredevil's a pass. That's okay. We love Daredevil. But the MCU shows, like the Disney Plus ones, they need to be an hour long. They can't be, one can't be an hour and then 40 minutes. No, they got to be an hour. Where's all that budget going to? The extras? Nah. It has to go to the runtime and everything. I want to watch essentially an 8-hour movie. It has to be 8 episodes too. Not no 6 episodes.
So
can't do that
what
no
about
more.
Loki season 2?
Loki season 2, that's a pass because Loki's Loki. We love Loki.
Okay, so it only gets a pass if you like it.
Yes, that's how most things are. That's how that's how the fandom is, dude.
you know what? Fair enough.
I'm part of the fandom. I have to cherry pick everything because if I like it, then it's okay. But if not, it's mid, and Marvel's going downhill. Like, I can't believe they ruined a franchise that I love so much because I don't read comics and I'm a filthy casual. So, you know,
Guardians 3 was good though.
yeah. Guardians 3 was good.
No Way Home was peak.
Yeah, No Way Home was peak.
Shang-Chi was pretty good.
Was good. Moon Knight. But like, you know, She-Hulk, ew. The Marvels, ew. Miss Marvel, ew. Secret Invasion, ew. Echo, no.
Except the Daredevil part.
Yeah, except the Daredevil parts. Yeah, you always have to constantly remind that shitty fandom about projects. Multiverse of Madness? No. Crazy.
You also watched Immaculate.
Anyways, I did watch Immaculate.
Too bad it sucked.
It was immaculate how bad it was. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't like horrible, but I just felt like, to me, there wasn't too much going on with the story. Pretty much Immaculate, spoiler alert. I mean, you do what you want. You can watch it if you want. Basically it's about like this newfound sister named Cecilia who goes to Italy, and of course, you know, she wants to be part of the church, wants to be a nun. But obviously, you know, in this fashion of the 19th like freaking horror nun franchise movies where, like, you know, the church is bad, and pretty much like the whole thing is that like they're trying to, in a sense, bring back like Christ through a baby, and turns out they've been like experimenting on, you know, the women to, you know, produce it like a baby without like sex, because, you know, obviously, you know, sex is a sin when you're a nun. And so yeah, I felt like I said, you know, the story wasn't too much. Like, I mean, I think like some elements were cool, but I feel like it didn't really push itself. Like it was like super safe in some aspects, and it provided like some great concepts of like, just, from a religious, I guess, point of view. I mean, I'm not like totally religious, but I guess in a sense of like the setting of what the story was being told, it could have provided something that was like really cool, but it just, like I said, it just didn't push itself enough. Like it felt way too safe, and it felt like it wasn't ready to commit to like just, I guess, taboo areas of faith. But I mean, like the cinematography was good though. I liked some of the shots and the lighting and everything. Some of the scares were cool. Casted all right. I mean, Sydney Sweeney, she did good. She needs to be. I just hope that like, because Sydney Sweeney she is a cool actress, I hope she gets put in like better things with like better scripts, because the last two movies I've seen with her, it's like, damn, don't waste Sydney Sweeney like that,
A lot of movies are wasting Sydney Sweeney.
How are they?
No, well, I said a lot. No, a lot of movies are. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yes, because you have like that shit, Madam Web.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good at not making money.
Jesus.
And
do you think the Madam Web doing so bad is giving Marvel leverage to do what they want for Spider-Man 4?
Yes. Sony doing bad with live action Spider-Man movies is what they need, because it helps develop Marvel as a whole, so they can make more great Spider-Man stuff. Sony Animation, just keep cooking with Spider-Verse, keep cooking with that. And then I also saw Godzilla and Kong, The New Empire. She was good. You don't really expect too much of a good story from the human side. When it comes to these movies, you want to see monsters fight. We get it. We got it for sure. It was really nice to see, Kong and Godzilla, just absolutely shred
kissing
things. What? I like the inclusion of Zuko, the little orange monkey. He was pretty cool. I love the dynamic between like him and Kong. Some of the human stuff was actually pretty interesting, because they went into like a more like a mystical route and a more cultural route this time around. But yeah, and there's like a reason why like Godzilla is pink in this film, which is really, really cool. But yeah, like I really liked the movie. It had some nice action sequences. The score was amazing too. But overall, it's a great movie. Good movie.
Was it better than the last one?
Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know, because like, well, it's hard for me to say if they're better or not. I mean, I would say they're on par, just because like I can't complain about what I'm getting with these films. Like, I mean, I'm seeing monsters fight, and I guess like, there was a little bit more action with this one in terms of the monsters, but I mean, I can't really say which one is better, because I'm just satisfied with that.
Fair enough. I watched it last week, but I forgot to talk about it. I watched No Country for Old Men, with Javier Bardem and your Josh Brolin's. Good movie. Although I will say there was a couple moments where I laughed out loud because visuals. There's that scene in the beginning where Josh Brolin is sniping at a deer or whatever, and they're very clearly CG. And there's a couple of moments where there's a dog, and the dog's either dead or gets killed, and it's clearly just like a stiff dummy.
Yeah.
it's really fucking funny. But other than that, fantastic movie. Yeah, it's really great. I don't have a ton to say about it, because it's one of those movies. It's like it's not like a conversation starter movie. It's just like, hey, that was a good movie.
It does what it needs. Like, it does what it accomplished. Exactly. For sure.
Yeah. Javier Bardem, just incredible performance. Bro's a little scary.
Bro is literally unsettling, and that's such a terrific way.
Penelope Cruz saw that and she was like, yep, that's my man.
For real.
I also rewatched Dune. Finally, I've been meaning to get around to doing that after I saw part 2. And rewatching Dune Part 1 is the experience I wanted when I saw The Godfather Part 2. I hoped that, you know, like seeing part 2 would like make part 1 better, and it didn't, at least for me. But seeing Dune Part 2 and Dune Part 1, which I didn't love, I think I gave it a 6 out of 10. Man, is so much better with the context of Dune 2 and on a rewatch. Fucking fantastic. It is so good, like way better than a first watch. Like, it's kind of insane. You actually have context for some of the visions he's having. A lot of the concepts just make more sense. It's a much better experience. Highly recommend it. But yeah, really great. Also, just sort of like retroactively, like Timothée Chalamet just came across better in the movie. He's still, obviously the performance is still not as strong as part 2, but yeah, he just came across a lot better as the character. But yeah, super, like, huge improvement on a rewatch. So I think I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. Just very, very good. I've also been watching slowly but surely X-Men 97. Bro, I'm telling you, this is peak. Like, each episode like surprises me. I'm like, holy shit. Like, as someone who hasn't seen the original series, I think I've seen maybe 3 episodes. Like, you could just jump right into this without any context. They give you like the context like in the beginning of the show, and it's like, okay, so this is like the starting point. Because other than that, as long as you like are generally familiar with the X-Men, you're not going to have an issue following it. It's not super. I mean, it is tied in, but like it gives you enough context clues to be like, oh, well, this must have happened in the past, or this event must have happened. So yeah, as long as you have just general knowledge of X-Men and sort of their stories, which you do, you don't need any of that backstory, and the show is just fucking great. Clearly they have a lot more freedom in the stories they can tell and the subject matter they can handle, because it's not, you know, a 20-minute serialized cartoon on a kids network. It's you know, on a streaming service. So I honestly I wouldn't say, I wouldn't even say it's like a kids show anymore. Like, it's not like oh, fucking like Wolverine's like slashing throats and shit, but it's just some of the tone is it's clearly darker, at least from the original episodes that I saw. But yeah, it's fucking fantastic. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, I don't know, like maybe you want to wait until all the episodes are out and then binge it, but fuck, man, you gotta see it. You gotta see it. I wasn't even planning on watching it initially. I was like, oh yeah, continuation of the X-Men 90s series, like that's cool for the people that saw it. But then it started getting them rave reviews, and I was like, okay, I'll give the first episode a shot. And I was like, damn, that was good. All right, fine, I'll watch the next one. And the next episode, I was like, holy shit, that was incredible. The third episode just came out recently, and that was fantastic. But yeah, I'll mean to keep harping on about it, but it is really just that good. I understand why it's getting the reviews that it is. And then I watched the new Spider-Verse short, Spider-Verse: The Spider Within. Fuck that short. That short. I was not warned. They should have put a trigger warning in the beginning. I was fucking, I couldn't watch like a quarter of it. Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
It's only 7 minutes.
I know.
But yeah, fuck that. Like some like the beginning section is it's cool, and it does some cool things, but then it gets to a section where it just all falls apart for me, because my brain But I'm sure it was nice for the people who could watch it safely. But yeah, that is all I watched. So is that the show?
That is the show.
All right, well, thank you, everyone, for listening to the Avengers Podcast. If you want to follow us, we're at Avengenerds on Twitter. That's AVENGE Nerds. All one word. We're also on Threads. I kind of forgot that was there. That's Avengenerds Podcast on Threads. It's just our, our Instagram handle or whatever. So we're there as well. What's after that? Oh yeah, if you want to follow either one of us, you can reach me at @itzenith_ on Twitter. Where can they reach you?
At Tornga on Instagram.
Beautiful. We also have a Discord if you'd like to join the conversation there. This will be linked in the show notes. If you can also check out our link tree for in addition links you may be interested in. You can also review the show on Apple Podcasts. If you leave 5 stars in a review, it would really help us out. Thanks again for listening to Avengers Podcast. We'll see you next week.
Later.